Now that the holiday of Passover is over, this week's portion is Shemini, which contains a very tragic and provocative story about the sudden deaths of two of Aaron's, the high priest, 4 sons, just at the conclusion of the week-long consecration ceremony for the tabernacle in the desert. This very lavish week-long ceremony, very formal, filled with pageantry as the community celebrated the dedication of the Mishkan, of the sanctuary in the desert. And Nadav and Avihu, those two of Aaron's sons, got involved in the celebration and decided to be spontaneous with an offering in a fire pan for incense. And for some reason, God strikes them down dead on the spot for doing that. This obviously raises lots of questions and has for commentators throughout the ages, for centuries, trying to figure out what did Nadav and Avihu do so wrong to have warranted such a reaction from God. Of course, there is no satisfactory answer, but perhaps we can put this portion in the broader context of the Jewish calendar. The rabbis certainly did, because the portion Shemini always is read on the Shabbat after Passover. And so what is then the connection between the deaths of Nadav and Avihu and a celebration of Passover? Perhaps the idea, obviously not to that extent, but perhaps the idea is to try to understand and to frame our celebration of Passover. Many of us hopefully enjoyed spending time with family and friends at our Seders this year. And our celebrations sometimes can go overboard. And when celebration gets out of hand, we kind of forget what the meaning and the religious purpose of the celebration is all about. So in other words, perhaps Judaism is trying to teach us that everything we do should always be within a religious and spiritual context. We shouldn't let our celebrations get out of hand. We shouldn't let anything we do get out of hand. We should always keep in mind what our religious and sacred purpose is. And perhaps with that tempering of our celebration, it can actually enhance what our purpose on earth is. Shabbat Shalom.